YouTube, what's going on? Kevin the Tech Ninja here, and today we're talking Galaxy Note 10 Plus after 6 months. This phone has had a lot of updates and a ton of enhancements under the hood. Now, none of these updates will completely change the phone, but were these enough updates to make this phone a whole lot better? And of course, we're going to talk about other phones. How does it compare? Even though this phone is 6 months old, does the specs still live up today? And also, looking forward to 2020, what can we get out of this phone? If you're ready like I'm ready, hang on to your butts, boys and girls. Let's talk about it. The Galaxy Note 10 Plus was one of the best phones of 2019. From the specs, the build, design, and also feature set makes it like no other phone. Although with contenders bringing some amazing phones for less money, like OnePlus and even its own S20, it's hard to justify spending over $1,000 for a phone. Now, speaking of its design, I will say that the color options you get are really good, but the phone is still too dang slippery. The phone also gets fingerprints, and it just gets these little micro scratches because the back is made from glass. So if that's something that bothers you, or you just want something very unique, something more textured, my sponsor Dbrand can hook you up. For under 20 bucks, Dbrand can change the way your device looks completely, gives it that texture as I mentioned before, makes it a little bit easier to hold. Hit the links down below to Dbrand, your Note 10 Plus. On paper, this phone still competes with pretty much everything that is available today, which means performance is still top-notch 6 months later. This phone feels as snappy as the day I got it. Now, a few updates did come out over the past few months for performance enhancements and battery life optimization as well. And definitely, it does show. Everything you do on the phone is lightning fast. It's always been fast, but it just feels faster. It's just super smooth. Although now my eyes are starting to get used to higher refresh rates coming from OnePlus and also the Pixel 4, this phone still feels buttery smooth. I do have a good feeling that the Galaxy Note 11 will have an even faster screen, but until then, 60 Hz will do. I think some of the phone's smoothness does come from its transitions. It feels a little bit tighter than it was when the phone first came out. Now, performance aside, what makes a Note different than other phones? It's going to be its S Pen. The S Pen is something that many people cannot live without. Now, when I do use a Note for a long time and I start getting used to the S Pen, I always ask myself, how did I live without the S Pen? And then when I stop using the Note, I really start to just forget about the S Pen again. The S Pen is one of those great features when you're having it, you're using it, you love it, but at the same time, I think you won't miss it when it's completely gone. But what I do love about the S Pen is gonna be the screen off memo. That is the #1 reason to have an S Pen. The screen off memo is great. You literally take the S Pen out of the phone and start writing on your screen. A great thing to use to take down a quick number, jot something down, or just draw something really fast for a person. I found myself using that a crap load, and it's one of my favorite features, if not the favorite feature of the S Pen. The Note is actually a great gaming device too. Of course, you have this sweet screen with pretty much no bezels, and also it has gaming modes that optimize the phone for better gaming, and also it does things like block notifications or block calls or minimize everything by default. As games become better over time, more and more people are just going to use a phone instead of a console. And Samsung continues that trend by giving these games some nice gaming features. And also with Google Stadia, that is something to think about as well. Having a phone that can handle games, and then you have these AAA titles that you could play on a phone, is going to be just double bonus and just make everything even that much better. And in my full review, I mentioned gaming mode and just the phone start getting hot after long gaming sessions, and with the phone being glass, you'd really feel it. Now, after about a half hour of playing Fortnite, no heat at all. It just actually seems like that issue is completely gone. So I'm not sure if they fixed some of the thermal processing or anything in the background, or I'm not sure what they did, but that part is a lot better than it was before. Dex is something that I didn't use a ton, but I did find it very helpful when I want to look at my text messages on my work computer. Instead of having my phone in my hand at all times, I was able to just plug the phone right into my computer, load the Dex application, and now, boom, I have my phone on my actual computer. So Samsung kind of backed away from the one device experience, which is fine, but I think it's a great companion being able to see all your phone's content on a larger screen, grab the pictures, and you're able to work with content easier when it's on that larger screen, and you also have a mouse and keyboard to do things. I find it best for text messaging and sending pictures and organizing your file structure and all those things. and drag and drop, I mean, those type of things just makes DeX totally worth it. The cameras are faster than before, but image quality is pretty much the same. Now, outdoors, Samsung produces a very nice color signature, which may not be natural, but still lends to a great image. You also have a 3-camera setup, which is pretty common these days, but it gives you some really nice images. I did find that the telephoto lens just didn't look as good as the other two. I can't put my finger around it. It seems like it may try to over sharpen things a little bit, and I just really didn't have good luck using that lens. And the wide angle lens is actually pretty sharp compared to the iPhone's soft wide angle lens. Something to notice, especially when you're seeing these wide angle shots on iPhones. They come out a little bit soft. On the Note, these wide angle shots come out sharp and really detailed. And yeah, I actually prefer the wide angle lens on the Note over the iPhone. For inside shots, it seems like they've gotten better post-update. I found that the noise sensitivity is much better and the color is a bit more accurate. It's still behind the Pixel and iPhone in that respect, but overall, I still think it's pretty good. The video on board is still fantastic. I still think that it's 1A and 1B with the iPhone. I still think, depending on different circumstances, you may think the Note's better, you may think the iPhone's better. Regardless of how you look at it, video is really the Note's calling card, and well, Samsung in general, and you have just a extremely good experience, and I'm very, very happy with the video that comes out of this phone. So I will say, day-to-day using a Note, you have really great battery life. You have well over a day's worth of battery life. Of course, you have wireless charging, you have quick charge, and you have reverse power sharing as well. So on the front, as far as it being a productivity beast, the Note definitely fills that void. And also you do have the SD card slot as well, which allows you to pretty much have a phone with unlimited space, which is pretty much rare these days. I know so many diehard Note fans that if the Note line went away, these people will be extremely pissed. The Note may not be the best phone for every single person, but for that business-minded person or that person who just wants a beast of a phone or really like the S Pen, really want to be able to sign signatures with a pen, really want to be able to do a lot of the S Pen things like having two things on your screen at once and being able to annotate images and all the special things that the S Pen can provide, then the Note is not only the best option, it's the only option for that, and a good option at that. So for $1,000, the Note 10 Plus is still a great phone if you want to spend $1,000. But since the S11 will be coming out in a couple of months, be looking out for the Note to be coming down in price, or you can also pick one up secondhand at SwapUp. Anyways, guys, my thoughts about the Galaxy Note 10 Plus. I want to hear yours. Leave it down below. Kevin the Tech Ninja, have yourself a great day. I'll see you guys later.